Burn, turn, go, 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 shawty. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip, you know what I mean? Shout out to my dude 50, man. This is a new episode of the Come Walk with 50 series, and it's really Mo Day, y'all. Today is my birthday. You know what I mean? I got my little slogan. Today is Monday, aka Mo Day, but it's really Mo Day, man. So I'm gonna start off by saying, let's take a shot for all my loved ones that ain't here. I want to take a shot for all my loved ones that are here and all my future loved ones, man. Love y'all, man. Yeah, that right there, that's the orange cup. I keep all my shots in there. But yeah, so I figured today, it's my birthday, so I figured I'd do a little episode about my greatest birthday moments, right? And I'm only do like two or three. I don't want to make this too long, but I'm gonna start off uh with my younger age, right? So I'm gonna go my seventh birthday, right? So around the time I was like 6 turning 7 years old, me and my mother we used to stay on 76 on St. Lawrence, 75th or 70. It was one of them. We used to stay right there. And we used to do a lot of our shopping on the 87th and like the Dan Round. We used to do a lot of our shopping up that way. So one day, me and my mother is up there. I forgot why we was up there, but we up there. And I started tugging at something, right? And my mother not really paying attention because she used to hold my hand, but she wasn't really paying attention to what I'm tugging at. And then she turned around and I'm tugging at like this little wad of money, right? And it was like when she picked it up, it was like two doves and 100, right? And this is like a week before my birthday, right? So like a blessing in disguise. But she picked it up and she like, oh snap. So on 87th and Dan Ryan, there used to be this big Toys R Us right there in the back, right there in the back. Big Toys R Us. It was a Babies R Us, Jewels, a lot of that stuff still up there, but the Toys R Us left. But we go over there and I get like a wrestling ring, right? Because I was a big wrestling fan. So I already had the action figures. I already had all that. I always got a lot of stuff I wanted, right? My mother spoiled me. Shout out to my moms. Love you. I always got a lot of stuff I wanted, but I get this little wrestling ring. And then you got to understand, me and my sister, my younger sister, we share the same birthday month. So a lot of times the birthday month became about my younger sister because, as the oldest child, which I am the oldest child, you got to understand that, you know what I mean? Especially with my mother being a single mother and, a couple fathers not really as present as they should be. Shout out to my sister's dad. They was definitely more present than mine was at the time. And rest in peace to my father. I love you dearly for giving me life, for giving me this face. You know what I mean? Anybody know me, they'll tell you, you know what I mean? My auntie will tell you I look just like my daddy. So shout out to him. Never disrespected my father. But, it was just certain times where things wasn't what they supposed to be. But yeah, so I get this wrestling ring. She bought my sister these gifts, but understand it was always gonna be a good birthday, but it was just like extras. And like I always harp back on that story because my mother used to tell that story all the time of how like I found that money. And I look at it like if you ever seen a movie Paid in Full, there's a part in that movie where Ace's mother is talking to him and she was calling him Lucky, right? And she was talking about like how he used to find like certain things and this and that. And he kind of got offended by that, like, I ain't, it's been a long time since I found like $100 or something, you know what I mean? But like I laughed at that because like I was that kid, that'll find something or just like I don't know, something happened, you know what I mean? So that was a good birthday though. Like we had fun that year. My seventh birthday. That was a dope year. Like, I always look back at that year and I smile. You know what I mean? Good childhood memory. Shout out to my moms, man. Love you forever. Uh Secondly, I'm gonna go my 18th year, right? Because this meant like more like a spiritual level to me. You gotta understand. So my 18th birthday, right? I was turning 18 on the 18th day, right? Of the eighth month in 2008. Right? So this is just like signs to me, bro. It was just like real signs to me. Like I'm turning 18 on the 18th day of the eighth month in 2008. So I was just like, it's my year. It gotta be my year, right? Like, this is just too many eights, you know what I mean? So, and this around the time I first came back to Chicago, and I had like a summer job. Well, not really a summer job. I had a job, and but I worked most of my hours in the summer. You can't really work too many hours when you going to school. People out there know about them work permits. Y'all know what them like. But yeah, so I was stacking up. So I came back to Chicago with a little paper saved up. You know what I'm saying? So I already knew my 18th birthday was gonna be crazy. I had some Jordans. I had the Jordan 14s. I remember what I was wearing, bro. That's how much I love this day. I had an all black tee with like some blue jeans. I think it was Anichi, if I ain't mistaken. But just like an all black tee. I had a baby fro at the time. Like, you know what I mean? This was around the time I first started growing my hair. I had a baby fro at the time, but I used to get my fro lined up. Like, I wasn't one of those just went pure natural. I get my fro lined up, you know what I mean? Steve Harvey style. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I was staying with my grandfather at the time. Shout out to my grandfather. Rest in peace to him. Take a shot for my grandfather. Hold on. Bobby Yo. It's my guy, man. That man loved me since I was like 5 years old, y'all. Like, I don't look at my childhood and don't remember him being there. You know what I mean? Even in my young adulthood, he was there. When I came back to Chicago, I was staying with my grandfather. And he always looked out for me. So, you know, I used to stay around 65th and Cottage Grove. I used to stay in this area. So at the time, the Mohawks was real like popular in the city. And I wanted one. You know what I mean? But the barber, shout out to bro, he was like, nah, I ain't giving you that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He kind of like, you don't know what come with that young boy. You know what I mean? Like, the stereotypes is, you know, they gonna pull you over like crazy. So he just lined the fro up for me. But at the same time, that was a blessing because I was gonna grow my hair out, but I wanted a mohawk at the same time. Shout out to my boy. He know who he is. I don't like to drop names on here because like people get crazy. Or people get weird sometimes when you say their name. But shout out to my boy. He got the mohawk, and I was supposed to get it with him. But I end up just keeping the fro, and I end up growing my hair out, growing my dreads out. But yeah, so my 18th birthday, I'm in the city. I got my J's on. I got my blue jean shorts. You know what I mean? I'm feeling myself. So we go grab like some liquor. This is like one of the first times I got drunk too. It was some cheap liquor too. It wasn't even like no expensive liquor, but we mixed it with like some lime juice, bro. I'm out there slap, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like you know, it's August. You know, my birthday is in August, so it's always like a summer night, hot outside, feeling good. And we just at the park, and it was cracking up there too. There was a lot of people out there. You know what I mean? Not necessarily for me, but still, just one of those neighborhoods with people outside, and you know, we just had a ball, man. That was my 18th year. You know, I was a young father at that time as well, but man, I had a ball, man. That year, yeah, that was because that's my first time back in the city for real. Like, you know what I mean? For real, for real. Like, I had already been back in the city, but it's like the first time I'm popping out. I was saving everything for my B-Day. So shout out to that year. 18th, man, was fire. But then I got to rewind a little bit because I went straight to 18. I got to go back to 13 at the same time because 13 was the first year I like threw a party for myself, right? And I have an uncle. Shout out to my uncle. My uncle through marriage. His birthday in August like mine. So upstairs it was like a grown-ups party, but downstairs it was like the kids party. So we downstairs, we having fun, right? I'm already enjoying myself. You know what I mean? Just I already got everything I wanted. I got some new earrings. I had some black Tims. Once again, Con Walker 50 series. I had this G-Unit hat. You know what I mean? And my bloods remember that. I used to wear this all black G-Unit hat. I had that. So my birthday was already lit to me. You know what I mean? I got everything I wanted. You know what I mean? I got brand new earrings on my Cameron. You know what I mean? Con Walker 50 on my Cameron. Black Tims and the G-Unit hat. I'm good. I'm finna finagle this with all my fits. You understand me? But yeah, so they threw a little party for me. And what ended up happening? For the most part, it was cool. It was just mostly family upstairs and then mostly family downstairs. But then shout out to matter of fact, shout out to I don't say no names, but shout out to who she was. She ended up bringing like hella people, bro. I'm talking about this going crazy. They in there, and I'm like, oh snap! It's like it's down there cracking downstairs. You know what I mean? So I go down there and have fun. And I used to have this crush on this girl. Like, she had to be, if I was 13, she had to be like 16, 17. I had like this crazy crush on her. She ended up giving me like a juke. If you know Chicago lingo, that's like when a girl dance on you. She ended up giving me like this juke, boy. And I'm telling you, boy, that made my night, boy. I used to have this crazy crush on this girl, right? Because she was the older sister of like my best friend, basically. You know what I mean? My girl best friend. She was the older sister of her. I used to have this crazy crush on her. And yeah, boy, that made my night, boy. That 13th birthday, boy. It was lit that day. You know what I mean? Shout out to the 13th. You know what I mean? I ain't really never had like no sweet 16 or nothing like that. You know, that's more like womanly. And most of my birthdays after that was really just like, you know, having fun, chilling with my people, smoking, drinking, relaxing. The one that stands out the most to me was last year. That's the one that stands out the most to me. My 34th birthday last year, right? So it's crazy. So we start the day off, me and my wife. We doing our little daily routines and doing what we do. We end up going to Walmart, like doing a little house shopping and grabbing a couple things, and we about to leave. And when we leave, and she like, we gonna stop at your auntie crib because she want to see you. I'm like, bet. Oh yeah, it's my birthday, my auntie. Yeah, I already saw my mama, my daughters, and all that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna stop over there, my auntie. You know what I mean? So I stopped over there, like no cap, y'all. I had like no clue. Like I had like a real surprise birthday party. Like I had no clue, right? So I stopped at my auntie crib. I walk in, and it was just like surprise. And I'm like, holy shit. Right? Like I almost cried in that moment, you know what I mean? Like, I held it in, you know what I mean? Real nigga do real things, you know what I mean? But I held it in, but I'm like, hold on, right? Because I had like no clue. Like both of my aunties are the ones that stay down here. They both there. My aunt that stay in Chicago, she on the phone, like, nephew, I'm sorry I couldn't be there. You know, I love you, all this. And I'm like, auntie, I love you too. I'm you know what I'm saying? My uncle's there, my family's there. My sisters are there. You know what I mean? We end up playing like kickball. We just did family stuff. Look, barbecue. We ate good, smoked good, drink good. People brought me some hen, all type of good stuff, man. It was just like lit, bro. And that was like, as you get older, you don't really look forward to like birthdays as being like you want to do your thing on your birthday, go out to because me and my lady, that's what we do. You know what I mean? I'm a movie buff, you know what I mean? Backtrack on my mother. My mother used to work at this movie theater. Well, not theater. This movie like what would you call it? Like a movie store, basically. Like you could rent movies from here. You could rent games. You could rent. It was Hollywood Video, right? It was like the competitors to like Blockbuster. My mama used to work there, so we used to have this big ass closet full of movies. Like it ain't too many movies I haven't seen, bro. I'm talking about Stuart Little, Flubber. I'm talking about The Borrowers. I'm talking about whatever, bro. I seen most of every movie. That's why I'm still like that to this day. Like, so for a lot of times for my birthday, I like to see what's going on at the movie theater. You know what I mean? Most black movies I've seen first day it came out. Other movies I like to see reviews. You know what I mean? What's going on? But yeah. So like, for my 34th, that's what I was expecting. Like we finna go out, you know what I mean, watch a little movie, see what's going on at the theater, because that's what we do. Me and my wife, that's what we do. Have a little dinner, you know what I mean? Go out for some dinner, regardless of where it's at. We like to try new spots. Like if you got a new restaurant, we'll try it out. It's a Harold's Chicken out here in Indianapolis. We tried that out. And then we go to the movie theater. That's just what we do. You know what I mean? I was there first day when Sinners came out. Shout out to Sinners. Great movie. Um, but yeah, so that day it caught me by surprise. Like, shout out to my family, man. That day was really emotional. I had already had my custom, you know what I mean? Shout out to my cousin, the custom queen, Steen. You know what I mean? Go check her out. I already had my shirt on, so I was feeling myself, but you know, a moment like that is dope. It's dope for family, it's dope for everybody, man. You know what I mean? Because the moments you wanna give to others. Like I wanna be there when we surprise you. You know what I mean? And that type of thing. So yeah, man. This is a short episode of Come Walk with 50. And it's just about Mo Day, man. Highlights of the best birthdays I've ever had. I got more. I got plenty more, but I wanted to keep this short because I could keep going about, you know, my life and the great things that have happened in my life. You know, once again, shout out to all my loved ones that are gone. Shout out to all my loved ones that are here. And shout out to my future, man. All my future loved ones, man. Love all y'all, man. Love and peace. From the Mo Man, Red Ranger. You hear me?